And we're live. Good
Well, what's
evening,
going on,
everyone.
Brad?
Oh, just sitting here, same old, same old.
Yeah, me too.
Enjoying myself a seasonal beverage.
There you go. I am as
Trying,
well.
trying to satiate the cats.
Mm.
you
Well, how's the weather up there? Down here, it's raining.
know, it has been really nice, and today that took a bit of a turn. It's not super cold yet, but boy, had a kind of a crazy north wind today, and that makes
Uh,
it awful cold. Feeling
yeah.
way more cold feeling than it really is.
Well, it's a warm rain here. It The storm has been slamming the California coast, but uh, that's about it. It's rained a little bit here, but not like what they were predicting. So who knows? It's supposed to rain again on Wednesday, so we'll see. I don't know. Uh, just throw my hands up at this point because this year's just been crazy already. So, what the heck, right? It's just one of those things.
Forecasters, they can't tell you what the weather was yesterday half the time.
No, they can't. They cannot. It's sad. It's pretty sad. But you know
I'm
what?
just
They have
doing
job
a little bit of
security.
admin to keep up here. Yeah, well, yeah. Who else could be wrong that often and still keep the job?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh,
I'm still getting used to this software.
yeah.
There we go,
Hey,
some people.
Russell. Hey, Randy. Hey, Phil.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Hallelujah Bee Farm. Yeah, it's
I was just sitting here. We watched a movie, and I was sitting here and thinking, you know what? I want to talk to some people. So we
mm,
just hit the live button and see
yeah,
who's out there.
yeah, yeah.
Thanks for
It's
joining.
well, what
What do you got going on, Todd?
oh, um, you have a weren't you talking the other night about a, I don't know, possible pest issue in your shed or something? I something like that?
Yeah, there's something in there.
You need a shop
I don't
cat.
know.
You need to
Yeah,
put
I do.
a cat in there, you know?
You can't see this though.
No, no, the
I
background's
can't
better.
even put it close enough. Yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah, can't see it.
So I spent some time in there today. I set up some traps and stuff. So what I've got here is I got a little webcam looking at my booby trap setup. If the little bugger gets away from that, I don't know. I think I'll just let him have it because he's pretty crafty.
I
He was going
I
along picking out the feed hole plugs. He just flicked them out, and they'd be sitting upside down on the top of the hive. Like
hmm,
there was probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them I saw, and I can't see most of them. So there's likely a lot more that I can't reach to close up.
did, uh did you have an angle where you could look down kinda on the lid to see if there were scratch marks on the wood?
Um, I can see quite a few of the lids because the ones right on top he
Mhm,
was pulling out, and I can see those just fine. And I don't see anything like that.
mm. I was gonna say squirrel or raccoon, but they'll
Or a
scrap.
bird.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe a giant mouse, who knows?
So I
Yeah,
think I'll find out. I'll either catch him in a trap or see him on my camera.
well, hopefully you get
Every year
you
it's
get that
something, you know.
taken care of. Oops, excuse me, guys.
It's mice and squirrels and shrews and never never ends in there.
That's what I'm saying. Put a couple shop cats in there and, obviously you could go in there and feed them, but they wouldn't mind being inside. I mean, indoors to them, right? And they'll make sure
I guess
everything's you keep it. They'll
I
keep
like
it
my
straight
kitty
in there.
cats, and I can't imagine
Well,
having a cat
not
live in
your
there.
not your personal cats, but
I know, but cats are cats, right?
well, I
Cats are
get it.
people too.
But they're also they're scavengers, hunters, so they kind of get their
Yeah,
natural thinking going. I don't know.
I did. There's a few years ago, I have my sea can storage out back,
Mhm.
and I went out there one evening to get some stuff. And I got my stuff and I closed it up and went back to the house. And then the next morning, I think I went to Winnipeg or something, came back, and I decided I needed to go back to that sea can for something. Nothing real urgent or important, but I went back. I opened the door, and one of my beloved cats, house cats, was sitting on a box right by the door, and she was giving me something else, just tearing a strip off of me up and down. And I could hear that her voice was hoarse. She'd been in there probably 18 to 20 hours
Oh wow.
overnight. So she finally got done reaming me out, jumped down and went to the house. I went in that sea can, and it's dark in there, right? And I went in that sea can, there was a dead mouse in the middle of the floor. So she used her time productively, at least.
She did the TCB, taking care of
That's
business.
right.
Hmm.
She was taking care of business. She's having a nap right now.
Oh man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Yeah, I've done the 5-gallon pail thing. Yeah, that works great.
what's that? 5-gallon pail with a little grain.
Well, there's different ways you can do it. 5-gallon pail, and you get a little bit of, you could put water in it. You can put water and grain or whatever. I guess he might mean just grain. Um, and one of the designs is you can put a dowel across the top. You you
Mhm.
you poke a hole in the
Oh.
pail, so this dowel sits in the hole, and then you can maybe put a pop can in the middle.
Mhm.
Put the dowel through a pop can. Put some peanut butter on the pop can, and the mouse will run out on the pop can to get the peanut butter, and it flips over and
I,
ends up in the pail, and they can't get out.
they have videos like that on Facebook. I could sit there and watch those for hours because it cracks me up.
So Doug says they have those repeating mouse traps, which I have some of those at every entrance because yes, it's a CFIA regulation, and he's never caught anything in them. So I put all kinds of stuff. I put a live trap today with some peanuts. I put a mouse trap with some peanut butter. I put a rat trap in there, and 4 sticky pads on top of the hives. So
I think you got
I
your
should
bases
get them.
covered.
I should get them. Whoever it is, I don't know what it is though, because those plugs. I don't know if a mouse is big enough and strong enough to pull those out. Maybe they are,
Ah, I
but they
don't
were
know.
quite neatly removed. They were pulled out and turned upside down. I think they just catch the edge and flip them over.
Yeah, I I don't know. Mice are, they're little rascals. Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
certainly a squirrel would do that,
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
and I have
Um,
had squirrels in there. So
you don't have any raccoons up there, right?
yeah, and well, we do. I don't really see them around my place much.
Okay.
Um, I'm pretty sure they're not in the building though.
Yeah,
I think I would find them.
yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so
Well,
I'm pretty sure I'll find out who it is.
yeah, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, it looks like you've got every type of
And
weapon in there
if he ends
besides
up
the
in
cat.
that trap, I'll have it on video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
besides
go.
the cat, pretty sure a cat would get them too.
Oh yeah, cat would do it. That's good.
Put a
May
cat in
take a
there
day
though.
or
You
two,
can't
but
use
the cat will get it. Yeah.
you can't sticky boards, and you certainly can't use poison or anything like that.
No, no, no. Just a cat. Shut the door. That's it. That is
43
all.
people
Well, it looks
watching.
Yeah, I was just going to say, looks like there's a lot of people here.
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah,
Thanks for
welcome.
tuning in. I think it's awesome that there's usually two conversations, and they do kind of phase in and out, right? The
Yeah,
conversation on the screen and the conversation in the chat. I think it's really great that the viewing community gets on that live chat on the side,
yeah,
um, and carries on.
yeah.
I think that's really awesome.
Hmm. Hey, Stone River
I'm just
Bees.
looking at
Hey,
the
Danette.
names.
Um, so, any big plans for tomorrow night? You, Brad. Any big
Norman,
plans?
thank you very much. Happy New Year. That'll go along toward my New Year's celebration for sure. No real big plans. I'm still kind of laying low.
Yeah.
So we'll just stay up long enough to see 24 arrive, and then we're old, so we'll just be in bed at 12:02.
There's old Mr.
How about
Mark.
yourself?
I'm going across the street. Neighbors got a party, so I'll mosey on over there. And that's about it. I don't know about staying up. It'd be a battle for me to stay up at till midnight, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, you know what? I haven't watched that video you put out this morning. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
The apple pie, yeah, but that intrigues me. I
Well,
think
I'm scraping for content, so I just videoed me
yeah,
making apple
you
pie.
have nothing. Oh,
Yeah, I got nothing.
oh man, um, I've just been locked in the house all day. I can't go out and look at bees because it's raining. At least today, I know they're not flying, so that's good.
Well, it's working in the rain is no fun for sure.
No, I will. I do it if I have to, and that's it. I will not do it
Well,
otherwise.
thank you very much, Icy Mountain Honey. I so much appreciate that. You guys are so generous. It
You know,
blows me away.
I saw that name last night on Charlie's live, but I don't know where he or she is from.
Where are you, Icy Mountain
Yeah,
Honey? Introduce yourself.
you should throw the link up there, Brad.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe Icy Mountain will pop in,
yeah,
or
we
or
think alike.
anybody else. Western Maryland. Hmm.
You failed the DWI test.
Who
What?
did?
Look, the pie looks good, but you failed the DWI test.
Read.
I should know what you mean, but I don't.
You
I
weren't
don't
driving while intoxicated, were you?
know.
I don't think you're cleared to drive yet.
Well, Roy, thank you.
Holy
You ready to
moly!
start building bottom boards in New Year's? Love the easy chat content. And 33-mile Phil, thank you so much.
Tangeray fund.
God bless you, brother.
That's funny. Oh, geez. Oh, man.
Thank you, everybody. Wow, I'm speechless here.
Oh.
Oh, the when I measured the jackrabbit distance, yeah, I
Well, you have to catch
I
me up
was
on that
I
one.
was trying to I was walking heel to toe to measure the distance that this rabbit had jumped in the backyard when he was running, and it was 8 feet. And I got
Oh,
about 2 steps in, and I couldn't keep my balance, so that's why I lost my. I failed the DWI test. That's funny.
oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I said too much Bailey's, but can you really have too much Bailey's?
No. Mm-mm. No.
No. Um, okay, I forgot to do one thing here. Oh, what's going on?
In the chat.
Now I'm here.
Charlie, welcome,
Hey, what's
Sawmill
up, Charlie?
Charlie.
Taking
Happy.
go back to the YouTube thing, Brad, and click the double dots and pin your link.
I was just about to when I heard you come in, so I have to do that.
What's going on? What's going on in your part of the world, Charlie?
Well, it was cold here today, and I
Sit down.
getting ready for Nobby. Really, I
Mm-hmm.
bottled up some honey and let's see what else did I got all my batteries and stuff for my cameras and all that charged up, and I've got this thing here for the the Rode mics that it's like a power box that you can put your Rode mics in there and it'll charge it for you, all three of them at one time, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess the next thing is, like my laptop, and got all that kind of stuff done, and I put like 55 pounds of honey in my bottling tank and filled it back up. And so I had a new customer today stop, or she called. There's a guy right up the road here that quit selling honey, so he's been pointing everybody to me.
Nice.
So she drove about half an hour or so to get to me and bought about 7 pounds of honey, and I think she's going
Evening,
to
Doug.
ship it. She's going to mail some of it up to New York City. So
Oh, nice.
relatives and stuff.
Nice.
Mm.
That's so weird.
Hey,
I can't pin this.
Charlie, yeah, I was
link
just going
for
to
some
say you
reason.
got to help Brad pin the link.
What's that?
I know how. The 3 dots aren't appearing for me.
Uh-oh.
Why would that be?
You have to go back to the YouTube side in order to click on it.
I'm on the YouTube side. The 3 dots are not appearing.
Yeah, I had that this week here a couple of nights ago that finally they appeared later on. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. I got to get we're going to go out to a music show tomorrow afternoon for New Year's Eve type thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I got to get all my paperwork, tickets and purchases that I've already pre-made. I bought 20 pounds of pollen patties from Global, and I bought 2 60 packs of Aprivar and from Foxham.
Yeah.
And what else? I had a couple members of my club want me to go to Benny's place there and see if he's got any Tupelo honey and some sourwood honey. They want me to buy some couple pounds of that for them, and that kind of thing. So I got all that done this afternoon, and I don't know, a lot to do. So especially these darn batteries and stuff. It's amazing how it's their one power pack thing. It took quite a few hours to get it completely charged up. But I've learned how to buy them little cubes, and you put your USB pluggers into the wall socket, which is way better.
Yeah, those are real handy, aren't they?
Yeah, I didn't know much about them. Lee helped me out on that. And
so that box, Charlie, the box that has for that Rode mic, that you put it in, and the box actually has a battery in it, so it charges in the box. Here's a tip on that: if the battery in the box goes dead, it'll kill your microphones too. So it'll actually drain the microphones. Yeah, it'll suck them dry. So it kind of treats the whole thing as one battery. So as it goes dead, it goes dead. I use mine all the time for charging the batteries. But
I've got a hard shell case for the Rode. When I bought my Rodes, I bought a hard shell case that replaces that little pouch, and I
Yeah.
use that and store them in that. And then Lee had this here battery box, and I figured, well, I'll charge it up. I got it 100% charged right now, and I turn it off. And then if I get out there and I need a mic charged up, and I'm not anywhere towards a receptacle, I can just plug them in there, and it'll supposedly charge them up.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and all
Saw your
that.
video on the lifter, Doug. Did you get it all fixed up,
Got it all put together, but
put
Well,
together?
we'll test it when the snow leaves.
That's the trouble. You can't test it yet.
So
Brad,
now
I was watching that video of yours today, and I got feeling sorry for your wife. Like when she was young, she just never stood a chance. You sing like Elvis, you cook like a couldn't, and you make nice things. That poor woman, she just didn't stand a chance, did she?
Well, I don't know. she's got a lot of talents, and I've got a lot of flaws. So there's plenty of space there. Thanks, though. I appreciate that. You know what happens when you grow up on a farm, right?
Yeah.
You just you learn a lot of different skills.
Yeah, that's the truth. And some of them we won't talk about.
Well, yeah.
So, Nobby starts on Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or is it Thursday, Friday?
Thursday,
Thursday,
Friday
Friday,
at noon.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of wish I was going, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it.
I messaged Ian this morning. I said, we got to do something really fun next weekend and put it online because we're the only two that aren't going to Nobby. He just laughed.
I really had a good time last night on the chat, and I've really enjoyed
Happy New Year, Joe.
Ian's
Thank you very
Ian's
much.
children coming on and
Yeah, that was funny.
and riveting pretty good.
That was fun. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
That was hilarious. Well, what's the old saying? The mice will play when the cat's away. So they were taking up all the bandwidth that he talks about. Then
I think he was out in what is it? Out there
Avery.
where James lived.
Yeah, Brian. I don't know
Is
if
he
I
in
can make it.
Alberta? I didn't hear that he was away.
And now Icy Mountain, honey, I believe I got you wrote down. It's your first name's Tom. I'll be coming by where you live on 68 there. And I was thinking about, I got to thinking about it today. Maybe I could stop by if the weather's decent coming home from Nobby, just to say hi. I just need your phone number or something like that, or address. But he's right off of
Icy Mountain's name is Sandy.
Oh, it's Sandy. Okay. And you're in
Southern Maryland, I think she said. Is it Southern
I thought she was up there in
Let me scroll back here.
Western Maryland.
Western Maryland. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Up there at let me look at the map.
See, I thought, if Brian was a nice guy, he'd just kind of swing by out here and pick me up, and then we'd make a road trip straight there to Kentucky. But he wants me to drive to
You're practically
Colorado.
on the way, aren't you?
Yeah. Although there's a direct flight from here to Denver, so
You're in McHenry, Maryland. I believe it is.
I bet she's from Deep Creek Lake. I don't know how I know that. It just came to
Something-
my mind.
You're
Yeah,
like
she's right on the
missing
Deep Creek.
Karnak with that stuff.
Karnak, yeah.
She's right there next to Wisp.
Mm.
Right there close to Wisp. I think that's where that's at.
Well, that's
Now-
a name. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time, Brad, is Karnak. That was a
Yeah.
funny bit he did. He was like
Yeah,
this.
it's classic.
He had a piece of paper and he
Yeah.
was like this.
Yeah,
Oh, shoot.
a Russian,
Yeah.
a Swede, and a Frenchman. A Russian, a Swede, and a Frenchman. And then he'd open the envelope
Yeah, that
and
was.
a big hat. The big hat that he wore.
Yeah, the big thing looked like a lampshade.
Yeah.
Is there any pie left?
The pie's long gone. Russ,
Oh, boy.
sorry. You're late. Well, buddy down the road, they're a really good friend. They love it, so I give one to them, and we eat one between us here. So it does take us a day or so. Darn.
Oh man.
You'll have to get busy because you know how now. It's not hard. Not hard at all. It does take a little while.
Sandy, Sandy of Icy Mountain. My email address is in the private chat. I guess they can see the private chat, right?
Well, it depends.
No, I think that's between us.
No, yeah, it's only online. I mean, for us on on camera.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the chat. Nah, that ain't right.
Have you ever put cheddar, Norman? Have you ever put cheddar cheese melted? Not melted. I've had just sliced cheddar. Lay across the pie and eat it. That's really good. I've never melted it on the pie though.
Sandy, email me your phone number and I'll give you a buzz if I have time to stop by.
Well, Carl, thanks. They look 100% from this side too. I'll tell you, it's awesome. It's awesome. No more glasses, no more contacts, and 100% vision.
And there's
Could not
Alex.
have asked for more.
Haven't seen him for a while.
Hey, Alex.
And Randy did treatments, and he didn't have a mite drop on any of the 45 hives.
See, Bruce knows pies are easy as cake.
Yeah, Bruce, I got your I sent you an email with my phone number. I didn't get your phone number.
No mites dropped on none of the 45 hives. Did OA treatment on 22nd, no mite dropped. So what's interpretation there? No
Well,
mites in the hives?
Either he's got no mites or the treatment wasn't.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, yeah. Which I kind of doubt that.
He got dead bees. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did an OA 2 weeks ago and
Doing a deep dish dive.
tonight. And I had minimal amounts of drops, but and I did go in. Well, that's when Bob went in and he seen 3 frames of brood, and I went in one of my nukes and there was zero brood at all.
Yeah.
Just a good bee population. I said that's as far as I'm going with it. So we're broodless here. So the OA is, will do the best kill of it all. So.
Yep.
So Doug, what's happening again?
Not too much, Charlie.
Yeah, I enjoyed your explanation on how I had watched Ian's explanation on how he uses his um, what is it called, spin float, and how he routes all the different honey through the pumps and everything over to that, and then with yours, it's a different configuration, which I really did. Hey, look at there! I didn't know.
Hey, Bob Walker.
I didn't know how that all worked. I find it quite interesting mechanically about how you do your situation and all.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple operation.
Well, I mean, I'm not around that big machinery like that, and understanding how the honey and all that flows and all that. I always find now the pump that you guys use. I presume that they're gear pumps, right? I mean,
no,
no.
no, they're
Where's it
kind of
on?
it's a
Isn't that
progressive
called a
cavity.
progressive cavity? Yeah.
Yeah,
Meaning what?
it's
How does it pump? With a screw in there, or?
it's something like a screw, Charlie. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to describe
Well,
it.
I mean,
It's
the
a kind
only
of a
thing I know.
shaft in there, Charlie, and it's sort of bent in different ways, and it turns.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly how it works.
Kind of
I've
like an
seen the
auger.
shaft out of
It's
there.
sort of like an auger type of thing.
Y-
And I guess the
yeah,
cavity gets smaller to pressurize. In the
no,
as far as,
no,
no?
it stays the same all the way through it.
Hmm.
It's
I
just
know
like,
that Mr. Ed, he had a gear pump like for like just straight honey liquid.
yeah,
It's fine, but he locked that thing right up when wax got in there between the
yeah, I
mesh.
don't like wax.
And then he got himself, I'll call it a lobe pump, where it's sort of like big ears on two gears meshing, but they're kind of open spaced, and it would pump that stuff through there. But I'm looking at your stuff where you got the liquid, you got lots of heavy wax, and it's going into that pump there. And I was like, man, what kind of a pump that was able to push all that and everything?
there's not really a lot of wax going in it. There is wax, but that little Lyson pump, it has just a rubber impeller, and it pumped everything that the big pump did.
All right, Sandy, I'll look for it. Yeah, I always, was interested in that kind of stuff. So, Bob Walker, are we been feeling ill?
Well, I've had a sinus infection, and I was feeling bad on Tuesday night, but been feeling better. I've just been, last night I had to do a job at a bank for work after 6:00 last night when they closed.
Was that with a mask on or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a bank job.
Did a bank job. And then
Okay.
I've been hanging out with my nephew and my son online. You see my steering wheel right here. Been trucking, playing truck simulator games. So now I've got 18, 19 drivers driving for me. So I've got an empire built. Truck driving empire.
That's hilarious.
So I just opened a new warehouse in Houston, Texas, new depot. So 5 trucks over there.
You need to get some drop decks or some flatbeds and nets, and you need to run
start running pollination bees in
California.
Mm-hmm. It probably will. It probably will be there eventually. So this game, the stupid part was it came out in like 2012, the initial game, and they've just expanded a bunch of like states and everything. So a lot of people are getting on, but it's all like Northwest, Southwest, and California. So, but it's been fun.
Welcome, Carl.
How we doing, guys?
But that's what we've been doing. Like
Right.
way too much.
Brad, do you know Simon Lalonde at all?
A little. I know of him, and I've spoken with him. Yeah, I bought some stuff from him.
He it was +5 up in his country yesterday, or on Saturday, Friday.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what day I'm on anymore, but he says 4 out of 12 hives had brood, and he's showing a picture, and the frame is pretty well full of brood. Two others
I saw that.
had eggs. Yeah.
I saw that. That's when Charlie was talking about some brood or broodless. I thought, well, Simon certainly isn't, and he's northwest of me. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah.
It's kind of reminded me of when I went into my hives late last October, and I was surprised with the amount of brood. We don't really dig into our hives during this season, so whatever we do see, we don't have a lot of context. We don't have a lot of supporting experience with what we're going to see. So, it's just surprising and alarming a little bit, because we're always told that, no brood, they don't eat much and all that kind of thing. Well, you pull out a slab of brood, that's a little bit alarming.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what it'll mean for mites down the road either.
You'd think it wouldn't mean good things.
No.
So I hear Bob going through the gears there.
Oh, I'm not driving right now.
Oh no,
No.
Somebody else.
No, I've got, well, my desk is a wreck, but I did some improved. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but I got a 32-inch monitor.
Nice.
So now I see you guys in 4K. It's kind of scary.
That'll be better for the old man eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the funny thing is the screen's bigger, but the font seems smaller. Or maybe it's, I don't know. It's just weird because it's more high def. So now I have to go to the old man accessibilities. So I can actually stretch the game as a real simulator to all three monitors. So when you look out the left monitor, you're looking out the left truck window, right monitor out the right truck window, and then the front monitor out of the front too. So, but
that's
I'm
pretty awesome.
Not going to go into it like that. I got these on sale. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought them probably. Well, maybe.
Maybe.
See how it goes. But I just, taking the break and getting my mind right. And really, the simulator is so funny. Oh, you got somebody in the waiting room, by the way. And
oh, you know what? I didn't see the scroll there.
And you can
Sorry,
actually.
Joe, I didn't see that. I had to scroll to see you. I heard it and I didn't know what it was because I didn't see you. So welcome.
You can turn the radio on the simulator and stream live radio stations over the internet through your truck. So you're listening to like music while you're driving down the roads. This is pretty funny. Police scanners and whatnot. Best $5 game I was ever given. My nephew
Maybe
gifted it to
buy
me.
it, come and drive with you. Can I work for you if I buy the game?
Nope. But we can actually join our own server and do convoys and run like behind each other down the road and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That's all right.
So they have a Euro truck version. I'm waiting for the Canadian truck version where you can expand and drive into Canada. It's already where you have to go to like all the way stations and produce inspections and DOT. And I was driving in a convoy with my nephew the other day, and a tractor trailer from the other side flipped over, and then watched the box roll down the highway at you.
Yikes.
Hit people. And if you got an LED keyboard, when the cops pull you over, the lights on the keyboard actually flash red and blue. That's pretty neat.
So you skip the scale, do you go to jail?
No, you get fined like 900 and something bucks.
That's pretty realistic.
And 32 or 3 more 32-inch monitors. My desk doesn't even fit the monitors I've got good. So
I don't think your room would fit 2 more.
I know. I'd have to build on a whole house to be like Lee with the wall of monitors.
Goals, eh? So, what's happening, Carl?
Not much. Same old story,
Sorry.
trying to deal with the weather and stuff like that, you know.
Mhm.
So warm weather sucks.
Mhm.
It's actually
Well, it
been cool
definitely is
here.
a different world.
We haven't had bees flying here. It's only been a high of like 46 here.
Well, they've been flying here. I mean, not a lot, but they've been flying, which they shouldn't be flying at all, obviously. So, but
And then you'll get like us, and then in April when you're ready for everything to start up, you'll get that last cold, kill everything.
yep,
Yeah. Mother Nature plays tricks like that.
yep.
The
Kill off
sliding
all the
scale.
apple blossoms and the peach blossoms and everything else, and all the good stuff. The little bit of pollen that I get here and there, you know, kill it off.
You know,
So-
they're starting to talk a little bit about long range plans here in the valley, Central Valley of California, where they grow an awful lot. Well, they grow most of the stone fruit for the country. And if it rains in late February, early March, it's going to knock a ton of buds off all these peach trees and plum trees and apricot, nectarines. It's just it could be dangerous. It depends on where it hits, you know. But if it rains where there's a lot of those fields, it's going to be a mess. There's not going to be a ton of fruit. So they're just now starting to think about that. They're kind of grumbling about it. I was talking to the farm manager yesterday, and he said he's starting to hear things about it, and guys talking about it. So just have to wait and see. I hope that doesn't happen because, of course, then where are my bees getting pollen from? You know.
Yeah, the El Nino is kind of screwy this year. I'm not used to, you know, it's pretty much New Year's Eve and it was 44 or 45 degrees here, you know. I'm used to having a little bit of snow or, you know, breezy, cold, and wind chills of 10, 12 degrees. And today I was out there throwing a football in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt with my son. It's not what I'm used to. I mean, I know I kind of laugh because Phil put out that video the other day and it looks like he's in Texas and he's all bundled up and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, I was loading the truck on Friday morning in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. You know, it was only 45, 50 degrees, but for us, you're used to that kind of temperature. So it was like you're moving, so it was perfectly fine. And I was laughing because he come on. I swear it was like an Eskimo suit. He came on, you know. So Todd, you're probably the same way in California. You're in the middle of the state, from what I understand. So yeah. So
Well, but you know what? It doesn't get super cold here.
yeah.
You know, but it is warm. Like I think today was 58 and rainy, but yesterday it was 70. You know, I mean, these are weird temps. But then I looked the next 2 weeks out. After probably this coming Wednesday, it's going to be in the mid to low 50s for the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of more regular. It's getting closer to the regular, you know, temperatures we have in January. But it's still not right.
Yeah. I mean, when they're coming up here on the porch and stuff, it's kind of weird for me. In late December, early January, you might as well say it's like they're on the porch buzzing the house. It's like, what the hell, you know?
Yeah.
So I pack the sugar on them. That's all I really can do is pack the sugar on them, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Y'all
It's-
talking about cold here in Louisiana today. It was in the 50s,
Ooh.
and it felt cold to us. We were both cold outside working. It's 37 now, and it don't feel as cold as it did when it was 50.
Huh.
That's what's weird. I guess it was real damp today.
Who was it? I was talking to you, Brad, about humidity and temperatures in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's the one reason that it, you know, when we talk about what we consider very cold temperatures would be minus 30 to minus 40. You know, anything below minus 20 would be very cold. it really doesn't feel as cold if it's not windy. When it gets windy, it goes through you, but it doesn't feel as cold as some might think it feels, because if you're from a coastal area, your cold weather, it'll be awful humid, and that just chills you to the bone.
Mhm.
Whereas here, when it's cold, it's extremely dry. The humidity is 20% or less, and it doesn't feel there's a dry cold. It doesn't feel that cold it's cold, but it doesn't feel as cold as you might think if you're from a humid area, is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
Humidity makes a huge difference. It's all about dew point.
We don't have that around here. Humid for us is, well, at least in the summer, is like real humid is 30%. And I know like Tim and Hannah said 30%. That's a good day.
That's dry.
Yeah, yeah. Joey knows what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But over here,
Yeah.
man, people are like sweating their butts off. It's it's steamy.
Right now outside it says it's 97% humidity. So that's almost snowing, and we did get a little bit of snow earlier, but it'll be 80-90% outside, but because it's so cold, the air doesn't hold much moisture at all, and it'll be 15-20% indoors
Hmm.
because it's warmer inside. It's all relative. So it's a different dynamic for sure. I lived on the West Coast for a little while, and man, minus 10 C out there was like minus 30 C here on the prairies
Hmm.
because of humidity. And you get chilled. You come inside, you don't warm up. Here, you come inside, you warm up in a couple of minutes.
So I got a text message about the Appy tablets today.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it says, someone had bought them. They've got a lot of colonies. He said, I thought I'd give you an update on the Appy tablet on the hives. 1st of October, 10 to 18 drop in 7 days. I think it was 18 to 10. He reversed it. 08, November 22nd, he got a 1 to 3 drop. And then December 24th, 0 drop on all the hives. He says, I'm sold on the tablets. So
Right on.
a little bit of duality there, right? Using the OA. It only says he OA'd one time in that period, so it's seems.
So
to be
did he
working.
have a drop after the after AOA treatment, or just counting the drops?
He did one OA, and he said he dropped 1 to 3 on the colonies. I guess that's what he's talking about. When he put the Appy tablet on, he had 10 to 18 drop in the colonies in the first 7 days, and then he OA'd in November, which was basically almost 2 months later, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he dropped 1 to 3 drops on his colonies, and then on December 24th, he had 0 drop on all of his hives. So, and he does tests, shake tests, so he's got a good result on it. Good. He's probably watching. I haven't seen him comment though, so he's in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Bob, you still going to New Orleans?
I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. Here's my dilemma. So plenty of people have offered me to go to Nabi, and I could go. It's not, I mean, as far as driving, but my company, I just took a week off for my mom, and then the holidays, and now next week would be Nabi. So it's like asking for additional time off after having all this other time off doesn't feel like the right thing to do, because they've been very generous to me as far as accommodating me with my situation and everything. So I'm probably not going to Nabi. I really want to go to Manitoba in February. So if I go to New Orleans, well, then I've used my vacation time going to New Orleans and wouldn't have vacation time to go to Manitoba. So it's
Yeah, it was Bob. Just to throw, not to, so you have a little more information. I was talking to Brian from Flower Street last night, and we were chatting for a while afterwards, and he was telling me there's only like a daily average of like 500 people in New Orleans.
at ABF.
Yeah. He said it's not huge numbers, and I had thought to myself from talking to everybody that it was more commercialized and stuff like that. But he said no. He said it looks like there's like an average of like 500 people. So I mean, I don't know.
And Manitoba may not be a big thing, but Brad's in Manitoba.
I was just gonna say, I think you'd go up.
Kraken is in Manitoba.
Yeah,
There will be Kraken. I'll guarantee that.
Well, that's what I was getting at with the relationship and stuff like that. So,
I will guarantee you, Bob, there's going to be 200 people, and they're going to be all commercial beekeepers.
Well, that's cool.
So,
I need to get my queen rearing.
200 people.
I need to get the license that allows me to send queens to Canada. Is what I need to get.
Well, we'll get you talking to Mike. He'll be there.
And they'll be like, hey, you know that fella we met in Manitoba? He makes queens down in South Carolina. He can get us queens in April. We can't use them till May, but you can get them in April.
That's right. Yeah. There'll be some crazy people get them in April.
So it'd be...
What I'm going to do, Bob, if you're not going to New Orleans, I'm going to go ahead probably after I get back from the Kentucky. I'm going to order some more of your swarm lure.
Okay.
I'm doing a class third Thursday at our club on swarms, catching swarms, and I'm going to probably give away a bottle.
Well, I'll tell you what. You give me an email and I'll work you a special price, and you can sell it to your club members after your class and make some money on it.
Yeah.
And that'll work out for you and for me. And, but it's tempting though, because Biloxi keeps sending me a whole heap of free dates to come down there and spend my money with them. Today we got free nights for the Hard Rock, and I've got free nights for Harris and Biloxi. So I'm like, man, everybody wants me to come.
I'm going to have to work in a casino trip for Bob when he comes.
I know, it's crazy.
Mississippi knows how to treat visitors. Louisiana needs to get on the boat,
especially when they spend money.
Well, to give you an idea, at Cherokee, when you're most casinos, when you gamble, they'll give you free drinks because they want you to get a little sideways, right? So you're losing more money and not realizing what you're doing. And but in North Carolina, you have to pay for every drink you buy there. And we're talking like $7 a beer. So we reverted back to free Cokes and water at that point. So that they're proud of their beer in North Carolina. But in Biloxi, what do you want? They'll bring it to you. Just keep it flowing. So
they're both dead and gone now, but my mother-in-law and stepfather-in-law, they used to go over there all the time, and they'd win stuff.
Oh yeah.
They would actually come back with more than they left with, and I always picked at him. He used to be an insurance salesman, and he'd get free trips over there all the time. And I used to say it's all rigged. I said, that's their way of paying you.
Well, I know they were given away, but there must have been 1,500 people that were walking in, and they were walking around. I forget what they were carrying. I think it was a coffee maker or a toaster oven. It was something, right? Like a household appliance that they had there. My wife's like, why are all these people carrying around this stuff? They won it from the casino. Like when they were there, they registered their points or whatever. Then they got notified they got a toaster oven, and it gets all these people to come back to the casino for, I don't know, $50. And now they throw $100 in the machine, right? And give it right back to them. So it's pretty
The
crazy.
house never loses. Just don't
No,
forget,
they-
the house never loses.
Never loses.
They've been in it long enough to know.
If they were losing, they wouldn't be there.
Well, they, you know, I play and I go in there. When I go in there, I have a budget for my trip, whatever that is. And if I win, great. If I lose, not great. But I mean, it's part of the game, right? If you're going to play, you can lose. But I always lose on the slot machines. But it seems like when I sit down at the blackjack table, I'll put $100 down on blackjack and walk away with $200 and then go blow it in the slot machines again. Again. If I was smart, I'd just play blackjack.
Once again, the house never loses.
Yep, they never lose.
Back.
They got it figured out.
Yeah,
But
cool.
it's just fun for us to go and hang out. And it's weird. It is really weird that that we can just jump in the car whenever we want to now. I mean, that's the weirdest thing ever. It's like catch myself jumping in the truck to go somewhere, and I said, crap, I need to go ask the wife because she's not stuck here anymore. And if I just leave and leave her, then it's a thing now.
Yeah, now it's a thing.
You know,
it's a bit of a mind shift.
And feeling a little bit old too. Eating at a buffet restaurant at around 2:00, and it's like, well, I guess we have to cook dinner tonight. You know, it's like they. Oh, and the lady said she thought that we were supposed to get the senior discount the other day. We had to correct him. I'll take the discount, but I'm not a senior yet. So, but you know, it's getting there. It's getting there. We're just having fun right now.
I'm not too proud to take a senior discount if they offered.
Well, I mean, what is it?
Not
I mean,
too proud
it's
at all.
not a lot, right? It's just a little bit, but it's something.
Doesn't matter.
Something. And going to like Golden
I earned
Corral brunch, right? Golden Corral at brunch time. It's like, who's eating brunch? Well, we got up too late because we didn't have anything to do, and it was too early for lunch. So we just kind of got right in between.
What's that?
You know, it's something when they say, "Oh, would you like any sauces?" Yeah, bring us some A1 sauce. And then they say, "Oh, it's too early. We don't have steak on the buffet till 4." Like, crap. Something.
That's the
We'll bring the hot sauce then. That'll be fine. So it's just a different world and adjustment process and getting just trying to get used to life again. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's hard to explain until you go through it. Mine has just kind of been prolonged. My kids have been out for 5-6 years, right? But it's like I haven't had to experience that, and now it's all kind of crashing down. And then trying to do some things like we drove to Georgia to clean out storage units so we could combine storage units and maybe save some money there. And just trying to adjust things because now, guess what? Mom's not here, so mom doesn't pay for light bills and water bills. Bob pays for light bills, water bills, and cable bills, you know? So that's more on the plate, right? So just trying to financially flip things around and do things a little bit different.
I heard you talking about that storage the other day. How long you been there?
Oh my gosh, it was worse than I thought, Joey. Worse than I thought.
Well,
I
own a mini storage, and it's hard for me to believe that I've got people, and it's been this way ever since I've had it. Just about it. I've got a few people that's been there 3 to 5 years, paying $55 a month.
I wish I was paying $55 a month.
I don't get it.
I have once. Okay, so my sister-in-law passed, and my mother-in-law came to live with us in Georgia. So her whole house, except for what she had in her one bedroom at our place, went to storage. So since 2015, her stuff has been in a storage unit, and we've been paying $100 and something. Well, I can tell you exactly. It's just under $200 for that one. And then when we moved to come here to take care of my mom, all my stuff went into the storage unit. into another storage unit. So now I'm paying $400 a month. So since 2015, we've been paying $200 a month, or a little under $200 a month, like 180. And yeah, I was like, she said, yeah, it's almost been in there 9 years, 10 years almost. I'm like, Christ, that's 20.
You know, I understand when people don't have room to put a shed up or something, but I've got people renting that has room to build 2 or 3 sheds.
Well, my philosophy is, if it's been in storage for 9 years, do I need it anymore?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Don't
almost,
even look at it.
I almost
Don't
feel
even
like
look at it. Straight to the dump.
just don't pay for it and let them get rid of it for you.
And just to keep
Nah,
it
yard sale it.
just to keep it beekeeping related, I keep all my unused stuff in storage units.
Yeah, but you own them.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe.
It's, I mean,
So it's worth it then, Joe, huh?
Yeah.
well, oh, so you want to hear the side story to the cleaning out the storage unit? So we go in to my mother-in-law's storage unit, and there's a bunch of garbage bags that had clothes in it, right? Clothes, just old clothes. And it's kind of raining a little bit. And we throw them in there because we're going to throw them out. Well, we go to the first dump there in Georgia. They're closed. I'm like, okay, well, we'll just ride them back with us, and I'll throw them out at the dump by the house because it'll only be 2:30 when we get home. Well, get to that dump, it's closed. So Wednesday, I work. Thursday, I'm like, you know what? I had to take the wife to the doctor. While you're in the doctor, because it's going to be a few hours for your scan, I'm going to go to Goodwill and let them unload all this stuff. And you know what? Goodwill would not take the free stuff to sell to make money because it was wet from being in the rain. They wouldn't take any of it. So then I go to the local dump again. They'll only take the metallic stuff. They won't take any of the clothes, like pots and pans and the microwave we were getting rid of. They would only let me throw that out. I couldn't throw any of the clothes out. So today I run to help my sister. I've got this truckload of clothes, and I'm go to her mobile home park. They got one of them dumpsters that the things flip up on it. And boy, I threw a whole truckload of stuff. They filled it right on up for them. But I mean, it's just having to carry it around. That places that are supposed to take that stuff won't take it for whatever reason, especially somewhere that makes their whole money off of free stuff they resell, like Goodwill, and they won't take it because it's wet. It'll dry out, but they wouldn't take it.
You need to learn how to do that like these Louisiana rednecks down here.
Just pour it out on the side of the road.
Just throw it on back of your truck loose where it'll all blow out.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that happened, and I kept on going. So we were in Georgia. We had one of them futon, like the couches that had the futon that fold on them. The futon mattress was folded in the back of the truck. And when I started driving, it started flopping. I said, that's going to fly out. So I pushed it down in and further and put something on top of it. And I'm going down the road, and I saw, and I looked back in the mirror, and it landed right like in the median of the highway. And I'm like, see ya. I just kept on going. It didn't hit nobody. Nobody wrecked. Everything was great. The prisoners will come pick it up and throw it in their dumpster. It'll be good. So I know that's bad thing to say. Oh, you know what? I had somebody contact me the other day that this place is called Growers SC. Okay, but they help you file for USDA money to reclaim losses on your bees from colony collapse. So every colony that you lose,
they won't know too much information.
Huh? They want to know too much?
We've had them at our club, and they want to know too much information.
Yeah, they want to know how many splits you make and how many hives you lose, but they pay you $90 per colony that you lose.
how many times you treated them, how many times you sold nukes out of it.
Oh, really?
They want to know a lot. I said,
So-
no, thank you.
Oh, so you've already heard about was it Elephony? I don't know. I got to pull it up over here. Honeybee Assistance, Emergency Assistance for Livestock, Honeybees, and Farm-Raised Fish Program.
Ooh,
Sounds like it.
a lot of words.
It says eligible honeybees. Eligible honeybees include bees housed in a managed hive and used for honey production, pollination, or honeybee breeding. Eligible honeybees do not include wild feral honeybees, leafcutter bees, or other bee species that are not used for producing honey, pollinating, or breeding honeybees. See,
some of y'all may be able to do that because you probably keep good records. My records aren't good enough for that.
so it says that the FSA has established a normal mortality rate for colony losses of 24.5% for 2023 program year. Payments for colony losses are based on the average fair market value of colonies in the program year in which the loss occurs, as established by FSA. FSA has established the average fair market value at $125 per colony for the year of 2023. So, I don't know. I guess if you lose in excess of 24.5%, then they would pay you $125 per colony lost over that amount. So, let's see. Hive loss payments. Payments for hive losses are based on an average fair market value of hives in the program year in which the loss occurs. Established the FSA. FSA has established the average fair market value at $220 per hive for the 2023 program year. And then says ELAP payments for hive losses will be based on a minimum of 75% of the result of multiplying the number of hive loss due to eligible adverse weather or loss conditions and times, and the average. So 75% of 250, I guess, whatever that comes up, or 225, 220. That's crazy. It's Chinese math, right? So this percent of this, if you get that and that. So I don't know. He just called me randomly on the phone because I'm deemed as a farmer in the state of South Carolina.
Look into it. I've gotten grants for equipment because I lived in the county. I mean, I was the only county in the state of Maryland that would give out agricultural grants.
Cajun was watching Netflix and then saw my favorite series was on. Us.
Welcome.
Oops, sorry. Man. Oh. You guys are chatty Cathy's tonight.
Well, it is Saturday.
Yeah. It is Saturday. We're
We
saving
kind
up
of
for tomorrow.
reversed, didn't we?
Let me see.
But I received, I don't know, over a period of time, probably about $45,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Who you file your own grant paperwork?
Yeah, it was a agricultural grant, and you sat down there and they had a form, and you had to tell them, you had to be local and you had to be in the community and how you were going to use this money in order to buy something in order to expand your operation and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal there.
I got like $1,000. The last one I got was $1,000 towards my bottling tank, which paid for about half of it.
Hey,
I know Brian got a
are
grant.
those, Charlie? Did you say those are state grants or are those U.S.?
It was a county grant. It was a county. It was in the county.
Yeah, I know Brian from Flower Street got a grant because he was telling me that his wife was going to come to Nobby and they changed their plans, and they're going to meet up in New Orleans. He's going to drive the Nobby and then down to New Orleans because he got a grant for something that with the bees and that in Colorado.
Yeah, he was. It was a grant where he was got his ticket paid to be ordered to take some certain class at ABF.
Yeah,
About
I knew it was something. On
I
that
forget what
line,
it was. The class was about though.
Yeah,
It was quite interesting.
good for him. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
So
One High Foundation.
or on High Foundation, I guess.
Yeah, so good for him.
I got something to share with you. We were talking earlier about my varmints in my shed.
Uh-oh. Do we have an update?
No, not really.
Oh.
I was trying to show you this. This is my varmint cam. Got the box trap.
Do you know what
You
kind
know,
it is? Oh, I see you got
I
the
don't-
T-Rex trap over there too. It looks like.
I don't know what I'm dealing with. So I
It's
got
like a
that,
mouse.
and I
There's
got
a couple
everything
mice there.
got a mouse trap here
And a rat trap next to it.
and a rat trap next to it.
Yeah, well, one
I
of
got
them just
sticky
moved
trap.
there and inside the cage.
That T-Rex trap
that's
is
the mouse.
badass. That black trap, that thing,
See the mouse move?
Is
Oh
there a
yeah,
mouse in
this
that
will
thing will
really get 'em.
decapitate them.
Yep.
It's like the guillotine of rat traps.
Did you see him move, Charlie, in here?
I thought I saw it move. Maybe it was your cursor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
cursor moving there.
The
So,
Well, what's those white
If I
things
see
sitting
anything-
out there? Is that where the foot tracks? This is the way you walk to get into the.
peanut.
It looks like peanuts.
exactly what you see here. It's peanuts.
So that rat trap, if you
Those-
put a piece of Slim Jim on that,
Are those
Yeah.
those little COVID footprint stickers that are on floors? They sit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. stay
Keep
six
your
inches
distance.
apart.
they're not going to want to get in there because they're going to be so well fed before they get in.
Yeah.
Hey, Morgan.
I've used that big one
Hello.
for coons. They get pretty excited.
have
when
you-
one
really?
comes up. Oh yeah.
Brad, if it gets really bad, you could run some copper lines across there, hot line, neutral,
Yeah.
hot line, neutral, you know,
Yeah.
if the trap doesn't work.
Just
I
give it some
told him to put a
fricassee.
cat in there. That'll solve his
Put
problem.
a cat in there, he says.
A shop cat. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Maybe two. That way,
So
that
if
way,
something-
you know, if one
something
gets lazy.
transpires, I'll bring them
No,
back.
no
I'll
animals in
bring
the
that
honey
back.
house.
Oh yeah, that's true. Doug has a point. That's right.
Brad, when they
Well-
were talking about the 5-gallon bucket earlier,
Yeah.
one way to do it, you could take a 5-gallon bucket and just put a little feed down in there, a little grain or whatever, and just put a
Yep.
board from the floor. My background's messing it up. Just put a board where
Yeah.
they can walk up there and jump in it, and they can't get out,
They can't jump out of a 5-gallon bucket.
right? Or you can
Yeah.
just let it float in about 3 inches of water. That's
Yeah.
kind of cruel, but you can do that too.
Yeah, you don't have to kill them later.
I vote for the cat.
Just shave the cat.
If
Well,
you
we
put
got a
two in
stray
there,
around here. If I catch them, I'll put them in the bee barn.
if you put two in there, it'll be a competition between the cats. So you can pretty much, if it's a mouse or a rat, you can pretty much assure that it's going to be dead. If there's only
Yeah.
one cat in there, then it might miss it. But if they're both in there hungry, that'll take care of that. Now, if it's Sasquatch, I don't know.
Sasquatch.
It's Yeti up there, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's
That'd be a Yeti up there. All that snow.
You might have to put your camera up there where you can see what's going on.
Well, I did have, and I think you're pretty small because you didn't see him.
Oh.
So I hope this vantage point, I see him if he shows up. I'm watching him here on my desk. I got my other display. So I'll see if anybody moves. Oh, it's crazy. They're just pulling those plugs out. It just pulls the plug out
weird.
and leaves it sit upside down
That's weird.
on probably 80% of the hives or more.
Yeah.
That's
Probably
sounds,
got a bear like sitting in the back corner.
sounds like a raccoon to me.
Bear.
Coon.
I think it's a raccoon.
Yeah.
I
It-
can't see
you
a
should-
coon being in there.
They act too human sometimes.
Yeah.
Is
And
your
he's getting
property
in.
haunted?
The 3.5 inch space in under the hives, he's pulling those out too. So it's not very big. Is the property haunted?
Yeah, maybe you have a ghost coming out there and
Well,
doing hive
maybe
check.
I do.
Sounds like a squirrel.
I
might
was
be a
thinking
squirrel.
weasel, like a weasel or something.
I've had squirrels. Well, it could be a
Something
weasel. We had weasels.
A bear with a straw sucking the honey out.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be it could be boo boo.
Yeah, boo boo.
Hey,
Well, it's pretty tight quarters, right? It's not anything too big. It's pretty tight quarters there.
Yogi's one of them smarter than the average bear.
Nay, Mr. Ranger, sir.
we are all bee guys.
Yep.
Modesto. That's a town north of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all on screen here, we're all big guys anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
We all spend a lot of money on little bugs.
Stuff.
Lots of bee equipment.
And varmint traps and glue trap. and
Electric fences,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
rifles.
Yeah.
Whatever
Spent
it
so
takes.
much money on electric fence this year. Insane. That bear.
We had the government
that bear owes
inspector
me
coming,
one.
Brad.
What, you do?
The inspector, we had the government inspector coming, and a garter snake crawled across the step before she got into the honey house. She
Oh.
pointed at that and said that thing had to go, couldn't be in the yard anymore. I thought I should just
Oh.
catch it and put her in her car. We'd never have to deal with her.
You should have garter snake. Oh goodness! I don't think a
How are you
garter
supposed
snake
to
is
keep
going to do
snakes from getting
is
in
keep
your
the
yard?
bug population down.
Brad, catch it and wrap it around her neck. Take it with you.
Yeah. Just, here, take it. Those inspector types don't have a sense of humor, though.
Sometimes they just don't have sense.
You got it. You
I
got
wasn't
it.
gonna go there.
I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but you got it. I used to have to deal with them for 27 years.
Just remember, most of the time they're the people that were picked on and harassed when they were kids and growing up, and now they have a badge of honor and they can make us all, pay for it. So
Yeah, and it's ego
I
as
used to
big as
think
the
it was
Montana
funny
sky.
back when I was in school. I used to work with a dairy, and we'd get ready for the state inspector to come, and everything was spot on. It was all clean in the barn, in the milk room. He would write us up for dead flies in the lot, dead flies in the cow lot. That's about right. And we had an inspector at the prison where I used to work. The wheelchairs could come in and outside the infirmary all day long. People in wheelchairs in and out the infirmary. But if a nurse left to go down on a dorm somewhere and do some kind of medical check and take their bicycle, they couldn't come back into the infirmary and park it by the wheelchairs until they sprayed the wheels down with bleach water.
The wheelchairs have magical wheels.
Yeah, that's it.
My mama said wheelchairs have magical wheels.
The trick with an inspector is to leave something really easy for them to find and really
That's it,
easy
you're
for you
right.
to fix. then
You're
they'll write
exactly
you.
right.
You gotta find
leave
something
ha-
to put on their clipboard.
I know in the
Yeah.
past when I was dealing with inspectors that if you got it used to be in Pennsylvania, if you got 100%, his foreman or manager had to come out re-inspect that facility within 48 hours.
Yeah, they had to grade him.
And guess what? They didn't want their manager or foreman coming out to re-inspect it because then they were pissed because they had to get off their ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So guess what? Give them something to bark about. Like Doug said, give them something that sticks out. Let them find that deficiency, something that they get correct on site, and make them go away. Because if not, they're going to make you miserable.
That's pretty sad.
We had a big forklift one time with a boom on it, and we had a legal basket that would go on it, a man basket. It was a 2-man basket actually, and the guy was up there washing the ceiling of our entrance gate, our building, and the inspector came in and he said, "Y'all got an illegal basket there. You can't be using it." And he drove straight to my office and told me about it. I said, "What makes you think it's illegal?" He said, "It's man-made." I said, "Let's go back out there." I showed him the data tag on it, the manufacturer date, and who built it and everything.
Aren't they all man-made?
Yeah. And he called it man-made, homemade.
Homemade.
Yeah. I had good relations with him, though. I told him, let's go find something else to talk about. we'd go right
Yeah,
around.
it's some happy thoughts for sure. Well, so probably most of you are going to the big party in Louisville next week. I won't be. Boo hoo hoo.
I guess we won't have any Canadians there, huh?
Well,
I'm going past it.
maybe. Maybe. You're just driving right past.
Yeah, we're gonna go down to Nashville, get me some whiskey on.
All right. That's a noble cause.
I thought
That's a mission from God.
bourbon was a big deal here at Louisville.
Yeah, but I like to party in Nashville.
He likes the people.
Yeah, we did made some good friends down there at the place we hang out.
We're at Nashville.
We hang out. We stay at the place called the Fiddler's Inn, and then the
Yeah,
bar
I've
that we hang.
I've stayed there.
The bar is right across the Music City Bar and Grill. It's right across the parking lot.
Is that where the Ernest Tubb midnight show was at that one time years ago?
I think that's over at the Troubadour,
Okay.
which is on the other corner. If you catty corner it, you know where right behind the bar is scoreboards, that bar scoreboards, and then across just right beside it in the strip mall, on the corner of the strip mall is the
See that? I mean, when I was down there, you had Hopperland amusement park and all that. Now they've ripped it all down, and I'm like, why does anybody want to go to Nashville if you don't have more than just the Opry? You know?
we won a bottle about yay so big
Mm-hmm.
and a bucket of beer, listen to the music, dance a little bit, drink a little bit so my knees don't hurt.
Right. Yeah, Highland Honey, I'll be there. Well, let's see. Me and Joseph will be there Wednesday night, going to the Mexican restaurant. Joey's got.
I'm gonna make sure I'm hungry too. Get my money's worth.
Yeah, that's right. Because you don't have to pay for it. You want a free dinner.
Well,
It must have not been but like 3 people in that drawing.
I think there was 12 people.
12.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah.
just north across into Indiana, there's a barbecue. Mission Barbecue is pretty good, but you got to pay the toll to get across the bridge. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I haven't been to Nashville for a while. So
October.
I was in Nashville in October.
we
go about once every 2 or 3 months. We'll go down there for an overnighter.
I guess the Opryland Hotel's still there.
Oh yeah, the hotel's still there. It's got a boat ride through the big lobby area of the hotel.
Oh yeah.
That's where they have the wild turkey convention every February, I think it is.
That's where we stayed.
Can I-
Okay. And they're right across the street from where the Fiddler's Inn is, across there by the Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
That's my kind of navigation. Navigate by where the Cracker Barrel is.
Right. Well, they got billboards, so you know.
Listen, if you find the local person that knows the local diner that's been around for 50 years, that's the place you want to find.
That's
It's not the Cracker Barrel.
Well,
got
Cracker Barrel's good. It's consistent. That's what's nice.
Yeah, it's consistent. Yeah.
Down the road, the other way down the road is a place we like to eat, not for breakfast, but the Santa Fe Cattle Company. Man, they got some good steaks in there.
You know.
So DC's asking about those videos, the music. The one called The Prayer, that was I recorded that for our dance at our wedding. But the other tracks recorded probably, 10, 15, well, more like over 15 years ago, I guess. Got a little studio in Winnipeg. Just a hobby.
So I'm
So
kind of
did you-
having a side chat with Aaron. Last week he talked about white pollen coming in because I had bees with white pollen coming in, and I think they were coming from the eucalyptus trees. And he confirmed with me that that's what he's seen. Then I asked him, "Is the bark dark, or is it kind of a lighter color, like a beige or something?" And he said it was a beige. And I believe those are called blue gum eucalyptus trees. I'm not 100% sure, but they have like an off-white bloom. And so that's where that pollen's coming from. So that's interesting. I have some in my area. I also have the darker barked trees, which I think are called red gum eucalyptus. Anyway, the story about eucalyptus, at least around here, I don't know about anywhere else in the country, is the state of California back in the 1800s paid settlers to plant eucalyptus trees because they were going to use them for railroad ties. And so there's quite a few eucalyptus groves here and there. Plus,
How does that affect your honey?
well, you can make eucalyptus honey, which is good honey.
Does it have that same eucalyptus?
Yeah, it has a zing to it, but it's not bad. It's not like that smell that the tree gives off or the sap. But yeah, so that's where eucalyptus trees, and eucalyptus trees, I guess, are native to Australia. So when people were coming to this country, they brought over eucalyptus trees, and then the railroads somehow decided, we could use this wood for railroad ties. So they were going to have everybody grow their own the railroad ties for them, and of course, I think they paid them $100 per tree, I want to say, but it took several years for the trees to mature. I think it was $10. $100 in the 1800s was probably, you know, $10,000 nowadays. But yeah, they paid people to grow them, but I know that it took years and years and years for those trees to mature enough to get wood off of them. But they're all over around here. So thank you, Aaron. That's what I was thinking, but I've known it, nobody else around here to confirm it with. So that's good news. And I told him, I said that I believe those trees are also giving off nectar right now, which is strange. So,
Since you're tired, did you just want to stay home and get together tomorrow?
Hey, mute yourself, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. I think I'll just stay home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm not doing nothing.
But I'm not tired.
We should just all show up at Charlie's house tomorrow.
Geez.
I can prove you invited us over. I love old people.
Southern Blue Gum Eucalyptus. But anyway, that's it for my history lesson for the evening. So
Cool.
I'll sit back down now.
Oh, no, you just keep going.
Okay.
It's all conversation, right?
Hey, mute Charlie.
No, it's not like you've been running just like me.
No, I don't know. We can listen in. Might get juicy.
Getting stuff started.
Oh, no.
Poor
Charlie.
Charlie.
Oh, he muted
Oh,
us.
mute
but
him.
he- oh,
Yeah, that's what he
muted him.
did. He muted us. He didn't mute
he
himself.
can't hear. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he muted us, so he didn't know that we could hear him. I took mercy on him and muted him.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, it'll actually allow me to unmute too if I want. Usually it doesn't.
Ooh, strawberry clover. I don't have much of that around here. Huh. Chicory. I don't know what chicory is.
It's
And
nasty.
a little blue flower,
Is it?
light blue.
Ooh.
We got it growing all over around here, just wild.
Charlie the player. Oh, geez.
What does Bob say? He's a rug cutter or something? What does Bob say?
A rug cutter.
He's cracking up.
Oh, geez.
Hey, Todd, I got a question real quick.
Yes, sir.
Geographic question. You may not even be anywhere near it, but years ago I went to California, and we went where they used to shoot the old Western videos, and
Okay.
they had a Roy Rogers
Oh, yeah.
museum. Are you very far from that?
That's in the desert above LA. So yeah, I'm a ways from that.
Okay, yeah, and we drove through Death Valley there, headed back to Nevada.
Yeah, that's eastern Southern
Yeah.
California.
That was a pretty good trip.
Yeah. Yeah, they made a lot of movies out there. A lot.
Yeah, they had
You're talking about the Rocky Bluffs and stuff like that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had the trails and had the names of the trails and what shows were shot there and everything. It was pretty fun to go through.
Yeah. That's I'm probably 4 hours north of that. Somewhere around there.
Hey, Highland honey, there. I would read that about the coffee substitute. You just grind up the root of it to do that, or how do you do that?
My dad used to talk about chicory years ago
Yeah.
in the coffee.
That's real popular
was-
down South Louisiana, coffee and chicory. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I can't
He said
drink
it was
it.
wartime or something. Coffee was
Oh, yeah.
scarce or something like that.
I know we got the chicory growing just up and down along the streets and in the ditches all over the place, little blue flowers.
Yeah, David said that's off 395 in California. That's the highway that goes on the east side of the Sierras. So it's between the Sierras and the Nevada border, up in that area.
Dry it, roast it.
Yeah, well, an awful lot of earthquakes over there too. Awful lot.
Yeah, we was talking about cold earlier. We went through it. It was in, I think it was June or close to July. We went through that thing, and it wasn't. It really, we hit it just right. It was a cool snap come through, and it got to 112 or 114 degrees when we went through Death Valley.
Yeah,
there's about a 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing, and I stopped and got out of that car, and it like it took my breath away.
Yeah, that place is.
I don't know how the car made it through there.
Not this past summer, but summer of 2022. It got up to 121 degrees there. Yeah. And people hike in that weather.
I know.
I don't know how they do it.
They're skinny.
If they weren't when they started, they would be when they finished.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody on this crowd that's doing that.
Hey, Charlie, I'm sorry, but I got plans tomorrow night. I can't make it to your place.
But I'm not tired.
We'll be there. We're gonna.
Don't worry, he's set up for tomorrow now. He's got it all lined up.
Tomorrow night.
Oh shoot! Yeah, Death Valley is a place you don't want to be at in August. That's for sure.
Oh, I could imagine.
Oh, it's terrible. You know what? I'm gonna see how hot it is over there right now.
So that Manitoba Bee conference that you're going to be at, Brad, what's that? Just for mostly the commercial people?
It's geared toward commercial. Yeah. I mean, there's good information for serious hobbyists and sideliners for sure. You know.
So what are they?
We've had Randy Oliver up, and we have a lot of presentations by the research going on at the universities here in Winnipeg, from Guelph out west, National Bee Diagnostic Center, and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of academia, but there's also, we try to make sure there's a good representation of applied beekeeping information there too.
Mm-hmm. How much of vendors and stuff like you have up there? That many or not?
Pretty small compared to what you might be used to. Trade shows, maybe, I don't know, 15 vendors or something.
Could pick up a hive lifter there, eh, Brad?
You could. I'm sure Boris will be there. So, you know, if you come up, Charlie, you can talk to Boris and take one home.
Make room, Charlie. Make room.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think I can get it on the airplane.
Well, put it in a box.
In other words, he's not driving. He's
quite a big carry-on.
Well, you could come up and test drive them, and then Boris ships anywhere in the world, so you just ship it to your door.
I tell you, that thing is packed well in a box. It's sealed good.
Yeah, I've never seen how he ships them. He gets it right in there.
Yep.
Do you find the wheels on yours, Joey, are big enough diameter where they roll, I'll say, easily across rough terrain, rough ground?
Yeah.
I know the one guy, I'm going to say it was the hive lifter. The hive lifter made here in the United States that you see advertised. And that was the first thing he said. the darn wheel, the diameter was so small, you know, you would get in a little chug hole and then you couldn't get it to go.
Yeah.
Where,
I
you
think
know,
these are 12-inch. I'm not sure.
that's pretty good
I'd
size.
say at
12
least.
inch wide or 12 inch in height.
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 Yes.
You got to have the
Super wide.
diameter. You got to have a big diameter so
Wheels
it'll.
on mine are,
Yeah.
I'm sure mine are way bigger than 12-inch.
But I tell
You
you,
know.
what I
Big.
like about Boris is his feedback and his. I texted him and told him I sent him a picture. I had a knot coming up on one of my tires, and in about 5 days, I had a brand new tire in the mailbox.
Right on.
And that's
good
fast
to
in
hear.
Canada. He actually ordered it off of Amazon and sent it to me.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, Boris is a good guy. I like Boris. He's always treated me fairly.
you guys might be building my next exit. I'll start building hive
Building your
lifters with a 6-inch wide tire and not just 12 inches high, but nice
Oh, yeah.
wide, like Charlie's talking. I know where Charlie's going. He's going because if it's wet and mushy, he's looking to have where you have some girth there, you know.
Yeah, but the bigger the diameter of any wheel, the easier it will roll.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. But I mean, obviously these guys have been building them, so they know what they're doing. So I mean, it's
Well,
working. They're selling them. So.
That all depends.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But I don't have experience in that, and I'm getting to that point now where I'm thinking about. I'm getting tired of lifting that shit too. You know.
They got one out there. I forgot what country it's in. It's actually self-propelled.
I've seen that. It's red.
High up, push a button, the thing just carry itself onto the truck.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's got like a rear differential on the bottom end of it and all, and it's that one that I think Brad tried one time where it squeezes the box, and then you said the darn box just kind of slid down the sides of it.
Yeah, I don't see how it holds it.
Well, yeah. The ones that just kind of grip on the sides like that, I don't trust them.
And Bruce Brown, he's got a hive lifter. He's going to send me his phone number.
You're going to know every owner of the hive lifter in the United States.
Hey, I like doing my. I like.
You're doing your
What a
research,
board-
Charlie. That's the good part. The good part of it, you know.
He needs to drive down. Me, him, and Mike Berry get together, and we'll move all the hives around.
Yeah, there you go.
I have
Yeah.
comments. I'm not holding back. I'm not saying nothing.
No, I like to do my research. You know, it's like my son right now. We're looking at this piece of machinery that bundleizes hay bales into cubes, and there's one that you hook up to your baler, and there's one of them that you actually just hook it up to the tractor, and it picks the bales back up off the ground and cubitizes them. And he's talked to some folks in our area that have them, and you know, it's like I said, the one that you hook up to the baler, he said, well, it ain't like hooking up a wagon. Once you hook it up, it's because it's a sort of a hectic job to get it hooked up to your baler. You never want to unhook it until the season is over with. Well, then you got to have a building big enough, like for a freight train, in order to drive that thing in there with a tractor, baler, and that thing on the end of it. So it's a lot of those.
He's been doing that stuff anyway, so let him have the choice.
Well, he was telling me about it where he talked to the guy over here, the next county over, where he took the one that he bought, the one that's picking it up off the ground. It's because of their hills and stuff. And I said, that's what I always consider, because this thing's, to me, it's pretty high up in the air. It's kind of top heavy and all that kind of thing.
Well, you said he's
Guess
all
what,
over.
Brad? It's Canadian made too. I think it's made up in close to Toronto or someplace up in there.
Oh, yeah.
Up
Oh,
in-
yeah.
it's
There's
up
lots of good
close
stuff
to that
made in
water.
Canada.
Huh?
Lots of good stuff made in Canada.
Yeah, it's probably made right then.
Canadian mist.
Canadian.
Canadian Crown, Canadian Club, Canada Goose. Yeah, exactly.
Charlie, I got a son like that. My oldest son, he'll
Mhm.
research anything he's wanting to look at. He'll research it to death. But the last thing he worries about is the price. He's going to buy the best of whatever he's looking for. He's at the end of the day, he's not worried about the price. Now, if he get the same thing from the same brand from another company cheaper, he will. But the main thing he's looking for is the quality when he buys something.
Well, that's the way I look about it too. I mean, there's when it comes to hay bales and all that kind of stuff, there's a multitude of different machineries that do it in different ways, and we've been doing it, you know, kicking it on the wagon, and you have to touch every bale and all that stuff for years. And you know, for me, I'll do the driving anymore. I said it's up to him to get everything else done, and so we're looking at this new machine. Of course, it's anything you buy today is $100,000. It's just amazing. Everything that you have to buy. So, except
back when I was a teenager, I used to haul hay. All we had then was just regular small bales.
That's what I got. We got them. We got round bales.
I'd get out in the field right by myself, throw hay on the truck, pile it up, climb up and stack it right by myself, and there'd be another truck on the next row with about 4 or 5 guys on it, and they'd laugh at me. At the end of the day, I made the same money they did.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't have to split it.
Now, see, I never could understand that, where you had farmers that would bale it and drop it on the ground and then come by and manually pick it up and put it on a wagon. We always trailed a wagon behind our balers, and then we got to the point where we put throwers on it, and we'd have, I don't know, 10 wagons that we could throw 1,200 bales of hay on in a day.
Yeah, when I was young, I rode on the wagon to stack it when it got put back here.
Yeah, I was always lucky. I started out as the youngest kid there, and since I was 8 or 9 years old, and I always drove the tractor, and I just continued on driving the tractor. But now this thing here bundleizes 21 square bales in a cube. My son found the thing that goes and grabs it for half price. It's like some guy had it hardly used it, got it for half what it normally costs. You know, so he's piecemealing all the tools that go with this apparatus. So, you know, and it's, I don't know. I've always looked at it this way. It's either you pay the bank or you pay the mechanic. And like when it comes to cars or whatever, I'd much rather buy a brand new car than try to fix something. I'm not a fix-it person.
Well, you can't hardly fix anything anymore because it's all computerized, or they got it tucked into where you got to have a lift to get to it, or
yeah, everything's computerized, even the freaking tractors now. Yeah, Bruce, we're looking at a bale Baron. The Bandit has the one that unit has steel strapping, and the Baron from Canada has 4 strings, and it's string tied. It's computerized. I mean, look at he was talking about ISO bus something connection on this bale Baron, and I'm like, what are they talking about? He says, well, when you buy one of these new modern tractors, it's got a built-in computer system on it, and that system, I guess it's what would you call it, interconnecting of all these other types of pieces of implements, and you plug this special wire connection into it, and you can run that unit, that remotely out of your cab and all that stuff. It's kind of like my round baler. It's got a bale command center where it came with the baler, and it tells you which way to weave the tractor back and forth to make the bale square, because it's a round bale, and then it automatically tells you to stop, and then it wraps with a netting around it and cuts the net off and all that stuff, and then you just eject it. Keep on going.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call it a night and get ready to go to bed. Y'all take care. And
yeah, it's getting 11 o'clock here.
Take care.
Good night.
Yeah.
Dropping
See
in.
you, morning.
Yeah. Well,
Charlie, have you ever
well,
been
yeah.
out to the World Ag Expo?
No,
That's the biggest.
I was wondering whether that expo is more towards your area as far as crop farming, types of crops that you grow.
Well, it covers a lot of stuff, but there's people from all over the world that come out for it. I mean, people from I've heard of people from Russia, Germany. I mean, they come out of the woodwork for this.
Yeah. I don't know. They're having a farm show here. As soon as I get back from Nobby, we're having a farm show here, which is close by. It's nothing big, but it's pretty good size.
Yeah.
And then there is one.
PA's having theirs.
Yeah, that's up in York is where I'm going to go. But there's a really big one out in Indiana, Iowa, or Illinois. It's huge. And but when you get out there, you got big, it's like the ground and around where Brad is, it's prairie. And they've got everything is, I'll say, geared for the prairie farmer, where it's, big wide equipment and stuff like that,
Sounds
instead
like
of planting, Nebraska,
Sounds like Nebraska.
I think it probably be in Nebraska is where that show's at. I've heard about it. I've seen it on.
You got a huge show in Nebraska. I know that.
Yeah. Now Bruce is, I guess Louisville has it. Maybe that's where it was at, out in Louisville. Might have been. I don't know.
I run a big New Holland swather and a New Holland combine for my son-in-law every fall and harvest. Mechanically wise, you don't have any trouble. It's all the electronics that are a pain in the butt.
Yep.
No end of trouble with that.
I got a New Holland tractor here, and it wouldn't start, and it had something to do with the connections at the battery. It wasn't that they were corroded. It was some kind of a sensor, type of thing, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. So Doug, the thing breaks down. You open the toolbox on the combine, and the only thing in there is a slip of paper with the dealership phone number on it.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
Fix
And then
anything on your combine with a cell phone.
They show up and plug a laptop into it.
Yep, that's what they did with our tractor. The darn transmission would jump, and it's
You
got
just tell him when he's done. You say, you leave that laptop behind.
yeah. And they hooked up a laptop in order to tell the computer when to push that clutch inside that transmission.
Well, there's there's conspiracy theory people that actually want to keep 80s vehicles around in that, because if there's a sonic boom or whatever you call it, where they sonically whatever, something with they kill all the computers and that, they could still have a vehicle to run in that. I know because I have a brother-in-law just like that. He bought a 1984 Ford pickup truck, and he says, "Yeah, I'm going to have that in case something happens, so I can still get around."
An EMP.
You won't have
EMP.
gas.
That's it. Yep.
Till it runs out of gas. Yeah.
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 Not a gas pump will work.
Yep.
With the guidance system, you have to turn around at the end of the field. There's been quite a few fellows over the years have been sleeping when they got to the end of the field.
That'd be me.
They've had to get track hose to get machines out of the slough. They've had to get something to pull them out of the bush.
Shane, I've been fighting that problem here ever since COVID, and they are Zoom addicts.
Yeah.
And what I tried to do this past year was the summertime we have live demos and stuff like that at a farm museum where we have real hives and stuff that we keep there, so they're not Zoomed. And then the winter meetings, we were Zooming them. And what we would do is, if we had a Zoom presenter, you had to come to the meeting in order to see the Zoom. And that worked somewhat of the time, a little bit. But the last meeting we had, which was in October, I believe, or November, we had 15 people show up. And of course, I'll say the presenter was a migratory beekeeper, which I find that interesting. Where some of the people on the board, well, our club members are not, I'm like, well, to me, it's like expand your knowledge base. Know a little bit about everything, but maybe I'm wrong. And so I got after that meeting, and we had issues with the college where we were at, and because we got rid of the one room, and I had to get the college guy to get the darn projector running and all this other stuff. So I had a special board meet, and so what we did was canceled the rest of the room rentals, saved the club money. I can run a Zoom here at the house, and February we're going to have a live meeting, which won't be Zoomed. It's of course our tasting of like with Carl sending me different cream honeys and regular honeys and stuff like that. And that's where we're at. And January is a Zoom meeting from a gal from Penn State. And we're going to set up some, what do you call it? Hybrid meetings in there, and we'll see how that works. And, but I mean, when you do a hybrid meeting, that's a lot of work to it. For me, it is, making sure all the electronics works and everything like that.
It's kind of a nightmare. It's kind of a nightmare. And
it's a nightmare.
Thing with our association, I threw it out there last year and said that I was okay either way. I would like people to come to the meetings, and I want people to come to the meetings. But I said, if you want Zoom, so all we need to do is have somebody to step forward and do the technology for the Zoom meeting. In the position that I hold in the association, I'm not going to do it because I have different things to do, right? I can't be doing tech work and lead the meetings and whatnot. And nobody stepped forward. So we've never done it. And I'm completely okay with that. I'm of the mind that people should just get out and get to the meeting. We used to. And, it's 40 miles away for me for a meeting. And I don't think I've missed one in a year. I don't think I've missed one in a lot longer than that.
Well, I mean, prior to COVID, we would have 30 some people show up at a meeting. And, look at all this networking that was going on at that meeting, other than, we would have our topic for the night, and I might hire somebody coming in to talk about something. But it was still I got a problem with this hive, at whatever time of the year it was. And they would get 2 or 3 different opinions, a way to correct it or whatever. And it would work, and I like meeting the people. And now they want to stay there at their houses. They don't want to get out of their houses and stuff. As far as membership growing, it's growing some. I think it's kind of wavy. I mean, I got we had our Christmas party. We had like 55 last year. We had 45 this year, but I know of 4 people that didn't come because they're all getting out of beekeeping. One of them, they're getting too old. That's the husband and wife couple, and they were selling their farm per se. And the other 2, he got stung, swelled up, went to the hospital, had a lot of medical issues with it. So they got rid of their hives, and they're out of it, So there's 4 members that are gone. And so it's about an even keel thing. And I have a gal that called me up about buying a nuke this come spring. She's brand new beekeeper. So you got people going out and you got new ones coming in. And then we sponsor a beekeeping 101 class at the college. And last year, I think we had close to 58 or close to, normally the maximum is 60 people. I think we had 58 people sign up for it.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good sized class.
And then I was talking to the bee inspector, the Maryland State head bee inspector. We hire her to teach it for us for the last 10 or 15 years. And she was taking bets with me on how many people were really going to stick with it. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, just figure about half of this class either not even finishing the class out, or they don't even get B's after they get the class done. The only good thing is if they quit midstream of the class, which is only 6 weeks long, we still get the money. The college gets the money, and I get, we get half the money for the club. And I don't know. It's, the last several years, beekeeping and chickens have been the two hottest hobbies going and all.
We don't see the statistics so much about who's dropping out, though, do we? We see who's taking the courses and who's, signing new registrations and stuff like that, but we don't really see who's dropping out.
Well, I don't know. As far as people taking the courses, it's, not real young, middle-aged people, some people that are in their 30s or 20s or maybe older, a little bit older, maybe, I think some of it might be curiosity. And then she goes over the program and over, this is what you need to do. This is the equipment. This is what to expect. Expect to spend $800 to $1,000 to get started. And that, kind of like, oh, we're not doing that.
Half your people disappear right there.
Yeah. Well, if you sit down and figure it up, it used to be $500. Now it's probably $800 to $1,000.
Yeah.
To get started. And of course, they all recommend 2 hives. Well, when I started, I bought 1 hive. Actually, I bought a local. I got a nuke from a local guy, and all. So that's sort of the statistics here. It's just, you got 250 people in the club, somewhere's in that neighborhood.
Charlie, you see a lot of homesteaders, like they're like trying to be tree sucking hippies or whatever you want.
The homesteading movement.
Yeah. Do you see that? I'm sorry, Todd. I kind of talk straightforward. I'm sorry.
Well,
I know you're laughing.
I watch. Well, it's kind of like this. In my area, the equestrian thing with horses is the hot thing. And when I was growing up,
I know where you're at. Yeah.
In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, if you moved from the city to the country and you had those 3 acres or 4 acres, you had to have a horse. That's all there was to it. The young daughter had to have a horse to play with. And like my father said, there's one guy, he had a house and he had, I think it was a 2-stall barn. And he said, yeah, we can't get it sold. He said, did you list that thing that it had a 2-stall barn on it? Well, no. He says, they don't worry about your house. They want to know whether they got a barn. He relisted it the next week. Let's say a 3-stall barn is what the guy had. Sold it in a day and a half because that's what people were looking for back then. And we were selling pony barns, and that's what our hay's all about, is all about horses. My son had a guy drive from Fairfax, Virginia, which is on the other side of Washington, D.C. It's a good 2-hour drive to get a tag-along trailer load of hay. And I'm like, you mean to tell me there ain't no farmers down there in Virginia that can sell you some horse hay? But they were up here and they found out about my son and the hay. Yeah, that's cool. That's what we want. Drove all the way up here today. He set so many bundles of hay on there, and then down the road they went. That's just the way it is. But as far as
I think I'm going to jump in here, guys, and close off the live stream. We're going over 2 hours.
Hey, there's James. Hey, James.
Feel free to stay in with the after party, and we'll say goodnight to everybody in the live chat. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for all the support here earlier on too. I really appreciate that. You guys are so generous. And have a happy New Year.
Yeah,
Don't get too crazy tomorrow night. Everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone.
There was somebody new in here. That's a weird thing.
Pardon me, Carl.
I just was catching some of the comments. There was somebody new that was Aaron.
Oh no, he was talking.
Okay,
No.
I just
He's been in for a while.
as a okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like Sean. He was talking about the horses there. He sounded like to me his area is just
Okay.
like ours.
All right, good night, guys.
See ya.
All right.
Not everyone.
Close it
Charlie, I
down.
won't be
Have a
there
good night,
tomorrow
everybody.
night.
That's like right. And remember, next Friday I will not be on because I'll be at the big party.
That's right.
That's what I was going to tell you too,
Maybe I'll
Brad.
have to take in some of those. Sorry, Joe.
That's what I was going to tell you too. I'm going to have to go to bed early if I'm going to be at Charlie's tomorrow.
Yeah, you got a hell of a drive.
We're carpooling. We're all.
I mean,
gonna
I
be
can
at
make it in
Charlie's
4
tomorrow,
hours,
as it
3
sounds.
hours. So
Tom,
Because
I'll
I
come
have
by
it
and
on
pick you up.
recording that we were all invited on the recording, so
Yeah,
I think we're
someone
all
get
gonna
me.
show up.
Brad, did you end the check? Because I see that the counter is still
No,
going.
we're still going.
We're gonna end it. So good night, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks.